Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Feeling so welcome. Hello, and welcome to In Other Words. My name is Emma Fruling. Let's get this ball rolling. Congratulations, everyone. The government does right by the people for once and begins the process of enacting a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill into law this week. Let's hear it for that. Yeah. Or not. Okay, cool. The bill is popular, according to recent polls, except among sufferers of OCD, who just wish it could have been an even $2 trillion. The new aid bill also includes $1,400 stimulus checks. This bill means Ithaca College students can use their checks to get a coffee with their chicken panini at CTB. Former U.S. President and current Florida man Donald Trump just filed a complaint that he has yet to receive his stimmy, feeling as if he was, in a way, also a laid-off worker. Sorry, Trumpy. Attached to each stimulus bill is going to be a note from the president saying, "Hey, folks, sorry about the delay in stimulus checks. I was too busy messing around in Syria. Maybe with your new $1,400, you can donate to a GoFundMe supporting the victims, or whatever you youngins do. And remember, no malarkey. Best, Joe." The CDC announced new guidelines that say fully vaccinated people can get together in small groups without masks. But what about ugly people? They're people too. Because of this, frat boys have decided the vaccine is a mindset, not a state of being. The vaccinated elderly across the United States joined together, hand in hand, rejoicing the return of trips to Cracker Barrel and local casinos. It brings a tear to my eye seeing old ladies back on the slot machines. Makes the world feel a little more normal again. We all need that. They should just release the vaccines to the public and let the homies vaccinate each other. Really make a day out of it. Play Can Jam, and whoever sings it gets another dose. I'd be in. But who knows? We spent an awful lot of time making jokes about our country. Maybe it's time we take a look at what's happening across the pond. Anna Tressel, everyone!
Thank you. I'm here with a message for anyone who may be interested in one day marrying into the royal family. Don't. First of all, you would be marrying into a family that is so unattractive that they have to keep outsourcing to find their attractive people. Secondly, that family is more whitewashed than Tom Sawyer's fence. And lastly, the royal family has become such a joke that Americans are laughing at them, and we are very much in no position to be laughing at how silly other countries' leaders are.
You make some excellent points there, Anna. Couldn't agree more.
I always do.
Yeah.
Now, let's roast some royals.
Let's do it! In her recent interview, which has shaken Buckingham Palace to its corgi, Oprah asked Meghan Markle if she was silent or silenced, which is the same question I ask my classmates when we're thrown into a Zoom breakout room.
The royal family was probably just mad that Meghan had zero land they could colonize.
The royal institution wanted to prevent Archie from getting a title. The CW was furious.
Brits better hope that that queen of theirs lives forever, because Charles looks like the inspiration for the flushed away rat and is going to look so stupid on their money.
So stupid on their money. Another animated sewage creature, Britain's version of Tucker Carlson and resident bag of meatballs, Piers Morgan, still obsesses about a date he went on with Meghan Markle that happened 5 years ago despite being married at the time. That date seemed to be the Piers villain origin story. It's like if I was to mention my hatred for coffee tables in every In Other Words episode because I stubbed my toe once when I was 3, which really hurt.
Are you okay?
No.
Not to mention the other royal pile of donkey manure, Prince Andrews can finally let out a breath of fresh air and let his nervous pit stains dry now that the national spotlight has shifted to Meghan.
The royal family should have learned by now to do what we all do with our old, racist white elders. Stick them in a southern part of the country and label it the happiest place on earth, and then only bring them out for show on major holidays. I'm just saying, it works for Americans.
Is it time for commercial break yet?
I think it's time for a commercial break.
Let's go to a commercial break.
We'll be right back with more In Other Words. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to In Other Words. Look at me. Now I'm on a screen. Well, I guess I was always on a screen for you. Anyway, regardless, I'm now joined by cellar dweller Jay Nanda, former MagCon boy Ronan Mayock, and beauty school dropout Ray Deutsch. The 2020 Grammys were on Sunday, and there was lots of buzz around the event. That is buzz from people who are fans of rap and under the age of 30.
Oh, hey, there's another award show that I don't care about happening this week? Sweet. That's right, and the singer The Weeknd is now boycotting the whole award ceremony, which I personally think is a little hypocritical since they're usually held over the weekend.
And also, Elton John says he'll hit someone if Phoebe Bridgers doesn't win a Grammy, and I guess he's the real Punisher.
Yeah, I think every musician should retire to a hyper-specific Hall of Fame so I can stop pretending to care every year.
Yeah, I will no longer be watching the Grammys since Fiona Apple isn't attending, and she promised if she won, she would destroy the Grammy with a sledgehammer. Personally, I'm feeling really betrayed that's not going on, so don't really contact me for the next 24 hours. I'm going to be in my bag.
Noted.
Yeah.
I'm also very upset that lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax and study to will not be making an appearance this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye made headlines this summer when he urinated on one of his Grammy Awards, showing his hate for the Academy. The Grammys promptly clapped back by not acknowledging Kanye at all this year, which is Kanye's greatest weakness.
True. Speaking of mayhem, March Madness is starting this week, which begins the annual college basketball playoffs. The tournament is being held in a bubble, which means that copious amounts of college basketball players will be stuck in hotels for a couple weeks with nothing to do. I'm sure all of those hyper-masculine men will just stay in their rooms, quarantine, and not party during spring break week? The tournament is doomed, isn't it?
Look, I know we're supposed to be talking about basketball, but the real March Madness was the pandemic we made along the way.
It's March Madness, but instead of basketball, we're coming to terms with the fact that the weather's getting nicer means that our seasonal depression might not just be seasonal.
It's March Madness, but instead of basketball, it's the states fighting it out for who will fail their elderly in healthcare first. There are currently no favorites, as they are all currently failing equally as bad.
It's March Madness, but instead of basketball, it's midterm misfortune when I realize once again that being a college student requires a little bit more than buying a sweatshirt and crying into a green dining hall food container.
Rough realization. Speaking of fashion statements and food, Lady Gaga and Adam Driver are portraying Maurizio Gucci and his ex-wife Patrizia Reggiani in Ridley Scott's film House of Gucci. The pair took to Instagram to show off their couture drip, but more important than this interesting film is this photo of Lady Gaga feeding Adam Driver bread.
Strangely enough, this reminds me of when I would feed my tickets to that machine at Chuck E. Cheese. Gaga is finally about to have enough for that big stuffed animal on the top shelf.
I just wish she was feeding him a giant Chromatica Oreo. Viral marketing opportunity hugely missed.
Yeah, I just gotta say, never let celebrities feed you. Allow me to speak from experience here. James Corden once force-fed me a 10-pound turkey because he said I looked a little famished. Yeah, it took several weeks for my throat to heal from the whole predicament.
Pictures or it wasn't real. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I think Lady Gaga looks like Adam Driver's stage mom feeding him a quick bite before he rushes on stage for the community performance of How to Succeed in Business without really trying.
What is the problem here? Lady Gaga is feeding our veterans, and y'all think this is a joke? I can't believe the things liberals get mad at.
Now I finally know why teen girls connect with Adam Driver so much. You know, like, he's hot, and he drowns his sorrows in artisanal breads as well. I mean, come on, perfect combo.
Facts. He will simply keep making Gaga shove dry bread in his gullet until they give him that tiny gold man.
Gullet is such a weird word. Speaking of someone who did the opposite of eating for his tiny gold man, Matthew McConaughey is running for governor.
In the world of politics, Matthew McConaughey has recently stated that he will be running for governor of Texas in the next election. All right. Finally a celebrity I can endorse without shame.
You're right. This country really does need more celebrities in politics.
When asked about his political influences, McConaughey said Lincoln and Albright.
McConaughey would be the first governor of a state to star in not one, but 2 films about male dancers. I didn't research this, I just really hope I'm right.
I think McConaughey should bring Magic Mike dances and free Lincoln automobiles to the state of Texas. These might actually solve some of Texas's problems. At this point, this would still be a bigger contribution to anything Ted Cruz has done for the state in the last year.
When McConaughey was questioned on why he was planning to run for office, he stated that he just keeps getting older and big government stays the same. Is anyone else dazed and confused on how that makes sense?
Knowing that Matthew is a famous centrist, he sits dead in the middle on all issues in Texas. It's great. We desperately need a white man in office with no opinions.
You know, I'm really looking forward to his campaign commercials, which I hope are just him being creepy in a Lincoln at night for just 45 seconds.
Oh, does that mean Texas will also be sponsored by Lincoln? Like, they might be able to offer a more luxury disaster relief experience than FEMA.
Fun fact, Dallas Buyers Club is also the name of the campaign's fundraising headquarters in Lakewood. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Truly an interstellar segment. We'll be right back.
Hello, America. I'm TV's Gavin Berger. I also have my own mic, so you can... Yeah, this is where you say your name.
I'm also television's Anna Tressel.
What I've noticed is we're right in the middle of a panorama.
You mean a pandemic?
No, I meant a Panera. What I found with the pandemic is that a lot less people can come to campus, which
That's very true.
is sad for those people. But
Sucks
we're
for
here,
them.
and I'm sure that they're doing some sort of campus tours. You would think so, probably, right? I mean, they're probably not that great.
Yeah.
But we could probably do it, dare I say, better, right?
I think we could.
All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna give a little tour around campus.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be your next tour guides.
Maybe. Come on!
Watch out.
Guys, let's go! This is CAPS. This is where you get your finest hats. We have some scaffolding. I don't know why there's scaffolding, but there's scaffolding.
That looks like a playground to me. Who wants to
we
go
have
play?
we have everything here. Bathrooms. Every campus needs bathrooms. Here we have a men's bathroom, and we'll get back to you on what that one is. This is the stock market. I think the entire stock market takes place here.
This is Wall Street.
This is Wall Street.
Welcome to Wall Street.
How are the stocks? Over here we have a residential building in Landon, named after Brian Landon. He was, I think he was the president of Ithaca.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Super cool facts.
Learn something new every day.
This is the Wayland Center for Music.
I believe Mozart was a student here, right?
I think so. I think he was roommates with Beethoven.
Uh-huh. All the greats come from Ithaca College.
This is Hammond Health Center, named after Brian Hammond. What's your favorite part of campus, Anna?
I'd say this little swivel right here.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, loop-de-loop.
We
Let's
asked
go.
some people,
Hey,
what's your favorite part about Ithaca College's campus?
Favorite, not least favorite.
You can,
no
you can do
one
your
has
least
any
favorite.
no one has any least favorite
It's-
parts. The Roy H. Park School of Communications, actually named after Brian Roy H. Park. Yeah, this is the Texter
This
ball.
is where the New Year's Rockin' Eve takes place, so that ball gets lifted into the sky,
and
and
then
when it
drop
hits midnight, it just like, it doesn't even go slowly down, it just like
They just
shoots
drop
to the
it.
ground.
I think they have to bring a crane in.
Yeah.
Ithaca is known for its greenery. Muller, who's Muller named after, Anna? Brian Muller?
All the
They
buildings
called
are
them the
named
three
after-
Bryants.
Brian Muller, Brian
Brian-
Park,
Brian-
Job,
Job, that was the one.
Brian, oh, campus store.
Campus store. Oh, they had a sale. We could have paid $2 for shirts from 2 years ago. Here you can buy
Cool hats.
cool hats. Cool hats is a stretch.
Favorite.
She doesn't even need to think about it. There's too many options that are coming to the top of her head. There's so much to do all around campus, and it's really still just a lively and active campus. Really, yeah.
There's
right?
so much happening.
There's so much happening. I think there's someone way. That's the car.
Oh, I see someone. See that one person?
Oh, there's one person.
That's.
So lively.
Thanks for joining us on this tour of Ithaca College. I'm sure now.
They'll definitely make this the official tour. Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
So many people are gonna want to come here.
Yeah. I'm TV's Gavin Berger.
I'm television's Anna Tressel.
See you in the studio.
Welcome back to In Other Words. On February 26th, 2021, current Best Picture and frontrunner of instant film classic Tom and Jerry the movie premiered in theaters and on HBO Max. On the surface, an abusive tale between cat and mouse. But is it really? For this week's new weekly segment, We're Only Doing Once, we wanted to take a look at this peak of cinema. Join us now for a psychoanalytical deep dive into Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry is an analysis of a codependent relationship between two lovers who were never meant to be together.
The attacks, traps, mauling, and acts of violence? No. Rather, they are the only ways in which these two characters can truly show emotion towards one another in a society that does not support inner special love.
As exemplified in the major motion picture film Tom and Jerry that debuted on HBO Max this year, Tom the cat and Jerry the mouse are in an inescapable codependent relationship. Heck, in this movie, despite multiple examples of their relationship being abusive, they are forced to work together in order to stay residents at this luxury hotel.
But we have to ask ourselves this question. Are Tom and Jerry not just products of a society that has constantly suppressed them to the lower class standing? Jerry can squeeze in between the gaps in our capitalist class structure, but Tom has no other choice but to break his way up the ladder.
I think the new movie actually takes a stand on the decades-old controversy of who is the protagonist and antagonist of the duo. And the verdict is, the audience is rooting for Tom the entire way. He is the anti-unconventional hero young viewers need today.
There is a clear, deep-seated queer coding between this cat and mouse. Unfortunately, their internal homophobia fuels hatred for each other.
I feel there's a possibility Jerry wronged Tom at some point, and it's a revenge tale. An animated Kill Bill, if you will.
Yes, precisely that. And throughout the history of the world, there have been mortal rivals that have come together in mortal combat. Popeye and Bluto, Sylvester and Tweety, Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. What makes Tom and Jerry so enigmatic? So lovable? Not much, but their new movie has the golden boy of comedy, Colin Jost.
Okay, I think the only way we can figure out how these characters feel is by becoming them and taking on their essence. Let's roleplay a conversation between these mute animated cartoon characters.
Oh, let's make it like the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan. I'll be Oprah, obviously. And Bailey, you can be Tom, because you're tall.
Understandable, that is one of my main characteristics.
And yeah, and Hannah, you can be Jerry, because...
Why? Why, Lizzie? Why would I be Jerry?
Ladies, we don't need to do this so that we can move on. The script is still...
No, I want to hear her say it.
You know.
No, wait. This is exactly what they want us to do, okay? They're trying to get in our heads.
Who wants us to do this?
William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, co-creators of American animation studio and production company Hanna-Barbera Productions, the creators of Tom and Jerry.
I feel like we're spending a lot of time delving into Tom and Jerry, but I would really love to take some time talking about the socioeconomics of the animals in the Flintstones.
I would like to as well, Lizzie. They make birds or dinosaurs into everyday appliances, and they always claim it's a living, but is it really? Those animals cannot possibly be making enough to support their families in the Stone Age, working for a working class family like the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly. How well can their economy really be doing, though, if no one has thought to dive into the shoe market?
Speaking of the socioeconomics of cartoon characters, let's talk about the Jetsons. They may have been living in the future, but their views on women were way in the past. Judy Jetson only ever shopped, cooked, and cleaned, but she did these tasks with the help of robots, taking jobs away from working class people everywhere.
And Yogi Bear's commentary on hunger among animals, and Huckleberry Hound gives a moving look at depression.
The fact that our writers wrote an entire segment delving into the psychology behind classic cartoon characters has me deeply, deeply concerned for their well-beings. We're gonna go check on them and then be back with more. In other words, really, Yogi Bear a commentary on socioeconomic status? Welcome back to In Other Words. Millennials with pin collections everywhere were more than excited than actual children to learn Disneyland is set to reopen in late April. The parks in Anaheim have been previously closed since March of 2020 and are finally opening their doors with supposedly COVID-friendly precautions. Unfortunately, that probably means that mandatory Mickey Mouse print COVID spit tests are available at Main Street USA for $50 a person. I still want to know what's in test tube 2. Are people really surprised that Disney just wants to make more money? This is the same company that charges $7 for a churro and makes people spend $30 for a new movie on top of their Disney Plus subscription. I'd pay anything to see Black Widow at any point in time. But concerns from Southern California natives have opposed the reopening greatly, considering that the area is in the middle of a severe COVID outbreak, which is very much the opposite reaction of everyone's least favorite type of human, the Disney adult. Personally, seeing people in their mid-30s getting a little too excited to take pictures and talk with the characters, might I add, they are costume people with feelings and personal boundaries too, makes me a tad uncomfy. They took "I won't grow up" to new extremes by buying up all Disney merch near the holidays. What were supposed to be little Billy and Susie's Christmas presents are currently sitting at some BuzzFeed employee's desk. You know which one that I'm talking about. And quite frankly, I've had enough. I've had enough. It's weird to just touch some grass, look at the sun, well, not directly, of course. And I do remember the tattooed Ariel edits on Tumblr in 2014. Come on, you're not off the hook. But by reopening Disneyland during a pandemic, Disney fans are basically paying hundreds of dollars just to catch COVID. You could have just gone to any Republican convention, could have gone to Florida, could have gone to a frat party, and just get it for free. But you know what? Whatever fruits your loops, I'm not knocking you for it. And the hospitals in the Los Angeles area were experiencing extreme crowding and shortages just 1 or 2 months ago, and their death toll is over 50,000. At this point, the Haunted Mansion might actually have real ghosts. Ooh, spooky immersion, oh my God. But the real kicker is that in true Disney fashion, visiting the happiest place on earth will cost a ton of money because, you know, capitalism. And those that were offended by Meghan Markle's Little Mermaid statement will be saddened to know that the parks have scrapped the monthly payment plan for people in the Southern California region's annual passes. This makes the ability to go to Disneyland only accessible to people who can afford the single-day ticket price or the pass up front. Unfortunately, Robin Hood isn't going to steal passes from California's Hollywood elite and give to their interns. Maybe you could slide one my way, some free passes with the rides. But I digress. Does potentially having to open a new credit card just to wait in sweaty 3-hour lines and eat chicken tenders that cost more than my rent say, "I'm like having such a good time right now" to you? This move is an elitist one, even for Disney. The already expensive Disneyland is pricing people well out of their annual passes, and they are claiming this is a strategic move to control crowds. But at what cost? Who is stopping this change from becoming a permanent one? And how soon until the other theme parks follow? We're in the middle of a pandemic still, and maybe going to a theme park isn't the best idea right now. But Disney is setting a precedent that will make the vacation experience impossible for a lot of families indefinitely. In other words, the only people who may be able to go to Disneyland in the future may be the princes and princesses themselves. That's our show for this week. We'll be back next week with a brand new show. To quote Wipeout or Edgar Allan Poe, whoever said it, good night.